Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Professional Darts Corporation, welcome to Day 2 of the 2018 Gibraltar Darts Trophy. The first player we introduce to the stage is a two-time Euro Tour quarter-finalist, a Players' Championship semi-finalist, X-Factor, Andy Boulton! We now bring to the stage a twice Winmore World Masters champion, a winner of 2 PDC ranking titles, the former Lakeside World Champion, the Bullet, Stephen Bunting!
Welcome to Gibraltar. It's day 2 of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy of 2018. Yet another Euro Tour weekend, and this is the day that the seeded players enter the fray. The likes of Michael van Gerwen looking to reclaim this title. Michael Smith, the number 2 seed and defending champion. Peter Snakebite Wright, rarely seen outside the top 2 seeds on the Euro Tour, but he's down at number 3. And this man, the Bullet, Stephen Bunting, number 16 seed here this weekend, taking on Andy Boulton. There are a number of impressive displays in the opening round yesterday from unseeded players, and Andy Boulton was certainly among them. A 99 average in a deciding leg victory over Richie Edhouse, a game which saw Edhouse go 7 darts into the 9 for the perfect leg. You've seen the perfect leg threatened a number of times already this weekend, and the Bullet, Stephen Bunting, is a man who missed the dart at double to complete a 9-darter in this tournament a year ago. I'm Dan Dawson. Rob Malarkey is in commentary alongside me for the opening game of the day. We've got 8 this afternoon, 8 this evening, as the final day lineup will be completed today. Malarkey, Bunting versus Boulton.
Yeah, well, just looking at the betting beforehand ahead of this one, and I was a little surprised at the prices available on Boulton for this one, given how he performed yesterday. Obviously, it's a little bit of a step up in class playing Stephen Bunting, one of the 16 seats, but, you know, it would be no surprise.
To throw first. Game off.
I think it's fairly fair to say if Bunting were to be on the receiving end of a perceived upset in this one. That said, Stephen Bunting has been showing signs of good stuff of late. He's making his 4th appearance on the European Tour this year, and his first as a seeded player as well. So now he feels perhaps he's belonging a little bit more as well. Maybe that will play into his hands.
95.
Well, Stephen Bunting says he's playing the best darts of his career. Now, that's big talk.
I mean, when he beat Michael Smith in Zwolle, in the immediate aftermath of that 6-0 win, he described his performance as most likely the best he's ever played. Now I thought, well, okay, it's in the immediate aftermath. Let's just take stock, you know, further down the line and truly analyse that. 59. But he, you know, he believes he is playing better than he has ever done in his life, and he needs to back it up. Needs to carry it over. It's all well and good having a performance like that and saying you're playing well, but it needs to be done on a more consistent basis, I think, before we can read too much into it.
Well, this year, I mean, he's been regularly making quarterfinals. He had a semi-final in Wigan, but he's gone quarters in Zwolle, as you mentioned, Barnsley, Milton Keynes, another one in Barnsley. He's been there or thereabouts.
Or is it?
140, I think. Is it? Oh, no. It was 100. Stephen Bunting has got there, said that's 140, pointed at it, George has gone, no, it ain't. And he's just had to take George Noble's word for it. Because evidently, George doesn't get things wrong, that's the thing.
Well, I have to,
it looked like a 140.
George is right, obviously, but I mean, just on the basis of the angle we saw there, it did look like it's unforced.
Yeah. Bunting's walked up to the board and looked at it and gone, that's a 140.
And still queried it. Astonishing start to this match.
60.
60, Stephen. No quibble over that one.
Yeah, I'm talking of the betting as I was just a few moments ago. No surprise that Michael van Gerwen, the world #1, is the odds-on favourite to take the title here. It would be a 25th European Tour title for Michael van Gerwen in his career.
70.
Something I pointed out to him when I spoke to him briefly this morning, and he was blissfully unaware of the prospect of landing the quarter-century mark this weekend.
7.
Short on the first leg.
Excellent stuff from Andy Boulton. It's only an 18-darter, but it is a break of throw.
Throw first.
Winner of this one could face MVG. MVG has to come through against his best mate Vincent van der Voort tonight. That's the 4th game of this evening's session. There's a fantastic lineup of players this evening. Michael Smith, the defending champion, the world champion Rob Cross, world #1 Michael van Gerwen, Dave Chesnell, 5-time major finalist, former finalist here in Gibraltar. Mensur Suljovic versus Adrian Lewis. What a game that could be.
140.
The King, Mervyn King, against Chris Dobie, and Peter Snakebite Wright, the world #2. And that's not without even mentioning Joe Cullen there as well. I mean, there's so much quality. But this afternoon, you've still got Wade, Whitlock, Ferret, Gurney,
83.
Bunting, Price. Max Hopp against Ian White could be a belter.
And the Northern Ireland World Cup showdown between Gurney and Dolan as well, just to put some extra gloss on that one.
140.
Yeah, Van Gerwen, the odds-on favourite. Peter Wright second in the betting at 7-1. Rob Cross 8-1. Michael Smith, the champion here last year, 12-1. James Wade, a former winner here as well, 22-1.
140.
And then 25-1 the pair, Suljovic and Gurney. Hannah Schneer, the outsider, at 500-1 if you fancy another European Tour upset.
Well,
140.
Irrespective of how far Hannah Schneer goes into this tournament, I think it'll struggle. Anybody in this field, or indeed any field in any darts event, will struggle to match the levels he's set with the colour of his trousers, which are bright. 12s. Double 13. 12-darter, break back, excellent response from the bullet.
Third leg, Stephen to throw first. Game on.
Also finalist last time out in Zwolle on the European Tour for Stephen Bunting. Eventually lost to Daryl Gurney after that 6-0 demolition of Michael Smith, who
47.
we must also add was not feeling particularly in great health that weekend either.
Yeah.
And he had the Premier League finals coming up as well on the horizon, something that may have been preying on his mind.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't a well man, but there was nothing he could do against Stephen Bunting, because although the average, I think, what was it? It was around about 100 it finished on, didn't it? But for most of the game, he was 4 or 5-0 up, and he was averaging 114, I think. I mean, there was nothing Michael Smith could have done about it.
Yeah, it's not to take anything away from Bunting's performance at all. It was a terrific display, but Boulton himself yesterday, as you say, averaging almost 99, a checkout of 134. Young man's here today, enjoying a bit of Mediterranean sunshine and the darts.
140.
He was up on the rock yesterday as well. Toby. And enjoying himself so far today as well.
Yeah, obviously it's a very different atmosphere here in Gibraltar compared to some of the other Euro Tour events. We've got 5,000 German or Dutch fans hanging from the rafters. It's a bit more. It's like a snooker crowd, isn't it? So somebody sticks in a finish and ripple of applause. This knowledgeable person in the whole crowd.
167.
Well, there might be, I was going to say there might be more than a ripple of applause if Boulton takes this out, but he won't get anywhere near it.
125.
But he set it up beautifully for another break of throw.
Oh, now then. Now then.
109.
That is the only shot, really, that could have applied any pressure. Will it tell?
Game shot on the
No,
third
it
leg.
won't, because Andy Boulton just goes about his business. Three legs, all of them breaks of throw. Andy Boulton looking for just a second victory
Andy to throw first
against
Game on.
Stephen Bunting. The only time he beat him was in a wildcard qualifier for the Grand Slam of darts. That was nearly 3 years ago now. The other 3 times they've met, Bunting has
60.
won them all. So they're all ranking event clashes. And Bunting has emerged victorious. However, 2 of them have gone to last leg deciders, so it's not been a breeze for the Bullet.
140.
John Archer there, Bunting's manager, has the same stable with the likes of Rob Cross, Rapid Ricky
45.
Evans. No Ricky here this weekend, but Rob Cross certainly will be. You take on Cristo Reyes, the Spanish #1.
109.
Just another flash of brilliance from Stephen Bunting to threaten a 4th successive break. Rob Cross spent the day yesterday dolphin watching.
140.
Bunting was up on the rock, Cross was down on the ocean. Many of these players arrived in good time for this tournament and have taken the opportunity to enjoy the sunshine and the local sights here in Gibraltar. Michael Van Gogh arrived earlier, I believe, as well, maybe late last night.
140. Stephen, you require 121.
Well, he produced a 12 darter to break in the second leg. Not going to produce a 12 darter here, and Boulton could open up a little bit of daylight.
97, and you require 116.
Lovely first up. Back upstairs for tops. Beautifully done.
Andy Boulton.
Very, very nice indeed from Andy Boulton.
Stephen to
It's
throw
a
first.
first hold
Game
of
on.
throw in this match, and it does establish just a little bit of daylight between the 2.
Yeah, and the finishing's been excellent from Andy Boulton.
As it was yesterday in the main as well. 6 from 15, but there were some nice
100.
checkouts from Boulton yesterday, that 134 being the highlight.
Well, he nearly took it out twice, didn't he? Exactly the same route, treble 20, treble 14, double 16. Now, Boulton so far is 75% on the
140.
doubles. He's taken out 86, 42, and 116. And the only dart at double that he's missed was one at double 16 in the same visit, which he finished at 42. So, effectively,
134.
it's the only damage he's done by missing that dart is to his average. In terms of the effect on the game, it has been flawless finishing from Andy Boulton.
85.
Andy Boulton's a man who's had a couple of good runs on the European Tour as well. He was a quarter-finalist in Riesa a couple of years ago, and then last year only made 2 appearances on the European Tour, but whereas his first was a very short-lived affair in Germany, in Mannheim. His second last October, where he beat Kevin Painter, Darrell Gurney and Van der Voort before a 6-4 defeat by Simon Whitlock in the quarter-finals.
140.
Well, 6 darts from here for Andy Boulton.
36.
That dart dropping out the board for Stephen Bunting could well cost him, because it doesn't matter that Boulton's not going to take this out in this visit. Well, all right, he's accidentally hit the double. It's not the worst thing in the world, because he'll still come back looking at double 12 rather than double top.
85, and you require 24.
And Bunting has trimmed that down to a ton, but Boulton, with
He's
3
on
darts,
fifth leg,
only
Andy
needs 1
Boulton.
for double 12. And it's another break.
6th leg, Andy to throw first.
Yeah, he was 2-1, 11-5 in places, Andy Boulton, for this one. He was very much the outsider with the bookies, but so far, he's defying the odds.
Oh, he's playing fantastically. He's averaging 101. I mean, this is exactly what he was doing against Richie Edhouse. The average finished at 99, but it was up at 105 halfway through the game. But the finishing has been clinical from Andy Boulton. That is a third 180 for Stephen Bunting. In terms of how often he hits 180s, and the Pro Tour stuff, the Players' Championship, he's in the top 10, Stephen Bunting. He hits a lot of them. It's very regular maximums.
100.
It does make him very difficult to live with. You can see he's actually outscoring Andy Boulton at the start of legs. It's just that as soon as Boulton gets a sniff of a chance at the end of legs, it is gone.
And the 180 is backed up
100.
by a ton. That was an opportunity for Bunting to put some real pressure on the Boulton throw. As it is, Boulton hitting back here 100. With a ton of his own.
Well, Bunting's still favourite for this leg, and it's a leg that he's probably going to have to win. He's going to turn this around. Oh, wonderful.
Ooh.
80.
Well, he's having a bit of problem. And look, Bunting, he's been using these points for a while now with absolutely no problem. They've been sticking in the board. If anything, they chew the board up a bit. But he's not had any problems with them sticking in. This is the first time that we've seen. We've had a couple of times it's fallen out the board. And I don't know what's caused that. But it may well cost him, because an extra 60 point, you know, he would have got darts for the leg here. And Andy Boulton, the way he's finishing, you quite fancy he's going to take this out.
Would not be a great surprise. And he's found the treble 20 as well. Double 18. 4 from 5 becomes 5 from 6 on the doubles. And Bolton's very, very eye-catching stats on the finishing checkouts is maintained. And he's one leg away.
Stephen Bunting is averaging 96, around about there, and he's just been absolutely battered by Andy Boulton, who is finishing
100
like a god. I mean, it's magnificent. His average has just crept up and up and up. It's at 102 at the minute, and Andy Boulton is
95
in the early stages of this tournament. The best player of the weekend so far. Max Hopp was excellent yesterday, averaged 100 in his game, but Boulton did it over 11 legs against Edhouse at a 99 average, and he's backing it up here. It has been magnificent from Andy Boulton. Now, he's not happy with how that's sat in the board. It looks loose. He wants to stay there,
but was clearly reluctant to do so, and he switched downstairs.
And you could just see how he's gingerly picking out the board. It sort of sat in there and then dropped, and he wasn't confident it was going to stay in the board if he stayed on that bed. And I don't know, he does really fling the dart into the board, Bunting, but they are only 12 grams, these darts. They're tiny, very, very lightweight darts. And they don't seem to be getting
97.
Maybe it just needs a sharper point. It just needs to sharpen them up a little bit. There's plenty of grip on the sides of the point itself.
44. Stephen
Boulton not staying so straight in this leg. This would just be a holder throw for Stephen Bunting if he could find a way through here.
100.
Well, I think Boulton will be thinking about the next leg.
Well, he's been finishing brilliantly, but he can't take out 228. I don't think he can anyway.
58.
But he could take out 170.
Well, he could. So Bunting will just have to watch his step here. Just a little bit of...
He's showing the 7th leg, Stephen Bunting.
Stroking the darts there just before he steps up.
First. Game on.
I think you just probably had a loose stem that just needed screwing in. I mean, Bunting's not done anything wrong when it's come to finishing, apart from in the very first leg, he missed one dart at double 10. Everything else, he's been sat there ready to check out, and Boulton's gone out. Until that leg just then. He has been a little unfortunate with a couple of bounce outs that have hurt him, because in what has been a pretty... Every leg has been pretty tightly contested, bar one or two. And so losing 20 points or 60 points here or there has denied Bunting a dart or two at doubles. The game could be very different, but Andy Boulton has just been spectacular at the back end of legs.
Well, he opened with 43, needs something a bit more sizable here, and he's got it, just to get some pressure reapplied on Andy Boulton's throat.
You see, everything in 4 or 5 visits to the board, apart from the first and 7th leg, which took 6. It's very neat and tidy stuff. Bolton's average now down at 96.5. That last leg has just dragged it down a bit. Again, you see Bunting shake his head because he's not confident, and he wobbles that dart in. He can't understand what it is. I think, I don't know if it's the board, I don't know if it's the darts, I don't know if it's how he's throwing them, but I mean, Andy Boulton's not having that trouble, but then again, Andy Boulton throws a heavier dart, and he has, this weekend, he has been throwing him with plenty of force and conviction. Well,
that just about sums up his day. Tony Dawkins again, is it?
It is Tony Dawkins. Slightly less animated than when he was on stage yesterday. El Presidente.
$78, Stephen, you require 141.
Well, it's going to have to go. And it might go. But it won't go. And Andy Boulton's left with 86, the checkout that started this whole game off. He took it out on double 7 to get a breaker throw and did not look back. Treble 14 should be the shot, but he's gone bullseye, which is the wrong shot.
34.
Andy Boulton, with your immense experience and ridiculous talent, wrong shot. Treble 14 is the bigger bet. Will he be punished?
He will. Yes, he will. And reasons to be optimistic and cheerful once again for the Bunting family and the Bunting connections. 5-1 becomes 5-3.
I flag Stephen to throw first.
And question marks about Bolton's decision-making there as well, and also still 1 or 2 nagging doubts about the way that Bolton's throwing. He just seems to be going off beam at the moment as well, just not staying straight as he was over the course of the first 6 legs. That's more like it, though. Bang on cue.
Well, it's only 1 break of throw that Bunting needs
140.
Now. I have to say, from 5-1 down with the way that Boulton was playing, having just gone 15-15, 13-14, I did not see a way back into this game for the Bullet.
60.
Even again with that last dart, he still wasn't totally happy there, Stephen Bunting. They say it's the hope that kills you. Bunting certainly has hope now, and it is just 1 break that he needs, but
60.
He needs 3 legs on the bounce, and I still think Bolton's got too much of a cushion here. Team Wade today. For Bennett Burgess, everybody's favourite monkey on Gibraltar.
You don't have a favourite monkey. You despise them all. You're like Charlton Heston.
If I had to choose one,
that would be it.
I'd go with that one. He's very unlikely to jump out at you from behind a bush and just assault you.
It was quite a traumatic experience for you going up the rock this morning, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I thought I'd try and, combat a few demons, and I wouldn't call it a phobia, but I just wanted to maybe just address an issue.
More just a hatred, really, isn't it? I mean, you don't like monkeys, apes, any kind of simian creature.
I came away with all my beliefs very much intact, and I'm not wavering at all on that.
100.
I know we're close relations. They share all our DNA virtually, but
I mean, you're entitled to your prejudices. Stephen Bunting has evidently tinkered with the kit. I think it was just a new flight. He might have put a new stem on there as well. Maybe there was just a loose stem in there somewhere. Worked, hasn't it? Is he going to try and jam this underneath those? And he did, and in the end, it's gone right between the pair of them, but it leaves him on 101. Ooh, now then, that hurts. That hurts Boulton. The difference between 135 and another 116 checkout is massive, but he's not even going to get a go at it, because 101 by Stephen Bunting cuts this gap. 5-1 has become 5-4, and dare we say it, the momentum is with the Bullet.
137.
Well, we have seen 5-1 deficits turned into 6-5 victories on the European Tour plenty of times. On the flip side, we've also seen many times where players look to be getting back into a position to launch an assault. They do all the hard work in terms of getting back on terms, or at least giving themselves a shout, and then all of a sudden it just unravels and they lose the momentum once again.
Well, look, some people will tell you momentum in sport does not exist. However, my argument is, right now, Stephen Bunting has gone from feeling that Andy Boulton is hitting everything against him and he's going to struggle to live with him and looking like he's going to lose,
59.
to then suddenly thinking, I'm playing better here, he's more confident. We know that confidence has an effect on sporting performance. Andy Boulton, by contrast, is feeling less confident, he's feeling nervous, he feels like he's throwing this game away. His mental state is not what it was a few legs ago. And that makes it more likely that Stephen Bunting might be able to ride that crest of a wave, use that momentum, figuratively, to carry himself to victory. However, just because it makes it more likely doesn't mean it's going to happen. And right now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen because Stephen Bunting has had 3 visits where he hasn't done a great deal of damage.
Yeah, no troubles. 59, 59 and 60 so far for Bunting in this all-important 10th leg. They're all-important legs now for Bunting. But Boulton just seems to have established a very sizable lead in this 10th leg.
He needed 180 number 4 there. That's the only thing that could have got him to a finish.
81. And
that's 99 points short. So 2 visits from 147 for Andy Boulton in a game that has seen some magnificent finishing from the pair of these 2 men, but
40.
That's only 40. There is a chance, but it's got to be a ton. It has to be 2 trebles in this visit. There's 1. There's another.
What
Game
a response.
on.
What a response from Stephen Bunting. Brilliant stuff. Timely intervention from Stephen Bunting. Boulton, though, looking at 107. I think you'd rather be in his shoes just about at the moment. 87 away. It's not going to happen this time.
91. Stephen, you require
A frown from Andy Boulton. He couldn't understand how he missed that treble 17 by such a distance. Bunting. He took out 101 in the last leg. But he's not going to take out 108 in this one. And is the game up for the bullet? The former Lakeside World Champion has just been knocked out in the second round.
Andy Boulton.
And Andy Boulton wraps up a 6-4 victory. And I think he'll be breathing a massive sigh of relief as well. He led by 5 legs to 1 in that one. He was finishing excellently even, with stats of 5 from 6. It all just began to unravel in the closing stages as Bunting fought back with a 101 checkout in particular that got him interested once again. 5-1 became 5-4, but then a sluggish start by Bunting in that 10th leg just gave Boulton the encouragement he needed, and Boulton just about coming through to defy the odds. He was the outsider to win that one, but Boulton is through to potentially face the world #1 Michael van Gerwen in the 3rd round tomorrow. But once more, not for the first time, Andy Boulton through to the final day
Andy,
on the European stage.
Played fantastically to go 5-1 up there, and then Stephen came back at you.
Yeah, I just think, even though I'm an old man, it's kind of like the inexperience of the big stage. I think it's just like, you know, you're 5-1 up and a little bit of you thinks you're already there. But to be fair, if you'd have played anything like in that last leg, I was away, I was jangling.
How hard is it to try and keep you cool when you've gone from playing brilliantly to not playing quite so well, and you know the other guy is reeling you in?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking all the way through, Stephen's not playing, you know, Stephen Bunting darts, so I've got a great chance here. So that gave me a good mindset early doors. But then when 5-1 comes, I'm thinking about talking to you and talking to... It's just that inexperience of this level. You know, they've got... I played darts for a lot of years, kind of like I'm a proper journeyman, but, you know, they've probably got their uppings on the big stage environment kind of thing, and I don't know what it is. It's just getting over that hurdle, really.
There's a few tricks left in the old dog yet, Andy, and you might need a few tomorrow, because it's either Vincent van der Voort or Michael van Gerwen.
Well, I think me and Vincent are pretty even at the times I've played, and I think my head-to-head against Michael, I'm only 1 behind, hence I've only played him the once. But But yeah, I mean, I've got nothing to lose. I'm having a great weekend. I'm away to see some dolphins now. So is the dolphins good? Yeah. So I'm away to see the dolphins, and then tomorrow I'll swim with some other big fishes, I suppose.
It certainly will. Andy Boulton, X Factor, through to the final day of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy. It might be time to level up his head-to-head stats with Michael van Gerwen.